I'm in the main menu for all the books. I'm just going to type null into here and see what it comes up with. I'm assuming that I'm probably going to want to look into the SQL reference or SQL language reference. And it gives me nulls in there, SQL language reference, so on and so forth. It seems to have, well, there's multiple entries. Just click this and see what comes up with. I prefer to go through the manual itself and through the process of finding things logically through the drill down hierarchy. That way, when I'm showing you how to do things like that, you'll figure out how to do it yourself. But I just did a search and found something. A column that has no value, then the column is said to be null. There are various things you need to know about nulls. First of all is the NVL function, and there's also a conditional test. When you want to ask if something is null or not, you have to say test is null. But the isNull function is going to apply in where clause filters, which we will deal with in a later chapter in this course. All you need to know now is that nulls exist, the difference between nulls and an empty string and zero, why they exist, because they save space, and because a computer sees a zero or a space as something completely different to that of a null. Zero or a space character is not nothing inside a computer. It's actually stored as zero or a space. Null just stores nothing. So if we go and look back at some of these examples, particularly this last one, we have null values resulting from this calculation on this particular query, which says in string name, find the space, doesn't find one, subtract one. It tries to go from name 1 to 0, or in fact probably even -1, because this result here might actually be -1, because that should come out 0. The simple way to do this, figure out what's in the result of this function, is to add it into the query. -1. So when you're going from substring position 1 to -1, doesn't find anything, just finds null. All right. If you do select, let's keep that for the work file. Let's get rid of this. Now, let's go to select star, because we know we have null values on here. Category. That has nulls. Now, let's go into here and say parent ID from category, and it helps me spell it right. And we've already seen this, but we'll do it again anyway. Select NVL parent ID, and let's replace this with a 0. In fact, a 0. It's a number. It's a number data type because the parent ID field is a number. In the past, I think Oracle, let's try this as a string. Oracle should automatically convert that to a number. Now I'm going to try something else. Put a string in there, and it does give me an error because it's expecting the parent ID, the resulting expression column, to be filled with a number. It allows you to put in a string value of 0 because Oracle will implicitly automatically convert that 0 to a number. But it can't convert test to a number, the word test, because it's not a number, so it just freaks out and gives you an error. The other thing we can show you here is, I was talking about the where clause. The only way to test for null, where parent ID, is using the isNull. You can't say equals null or not equals null. It's either is null or is not null. Let's go back to the manual quickly. As you can see here, if we scroll down, we got is null or is not null. Go back out to SQL Developer again. So we can say select star, as in all columns from category where parent ID is null. You have to use is null or is not null. You cannot say equals null or not equals null. It just won't work. Null is not the same thing as a number, including 0, or a string, including a single space character. The computer sees it as something completely different, and if you try to mix numbers and strings with nulls, you'll get all sorts of weird effects. Control Enter on this one. As you can see, it's now pulled everything that doesn't have a null, so it misses out the primary parent categories, as in concert, sports, arts, so on and so forth. That's the very basics of null, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and store it into a work file for you, so you have it with the course. And we need to go to here, and I'm going to go and store it as a work file for this course.